Okay, so we are doing this community goal, which is rare trading. It's a very large loop, hundreds of light years for each hop. I happened to be at the very first point in the kind of most optimal path that I calculated. So I've already got in my cargo hold the first kind of alcohol that I'm supposed to gather, which is Kongga ale. Um, and it looks to me like uh, the rest. It looks to me like we should be able to make most of the hops without making any extra extraneous stops along the way. So in the last stream, I refitted the ship so that it wasn't just pure cargo, but also had a fuel scoop so that I can pick up energy from the sun, and a repair module so that if something happens along the way, I don't have to stop to repair my ship. And we have here we can see that I've plotted my course, which is four hops here, and from Guibani, where I am now, to Bast, and oops, too far. And in Bast, the Heart Station is where I'm going. It's 95 light years away. Ooh. Okay. So, I am about to head off, but the one thing that I do want to do, since I'm early in this route, is I want to carry something in my hold, because, you know, otherwise I've got, you know, what, 28 out of 104 tons of capacity just empty. I don't want to deadhead that much, so I'm going to just really quickly, I'm on eddb.io, I can say that, and I'm just quickly checking to see what it suggests as something we might carry. It says crop harvesters, so why don't we look for some crop harvesters? That would be under machinery, I assume. Yep. So I'm just going to fill my hold up with crop harvesters.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
And with that done, we will get underway. So I'm actually streaming through PS4 to YouTube, and I don't really know how this works. I've done PC before, so I'm not sure if you say something to me in the chat. Somebody say something in the chat. Anything? Because there's a PS4 chat and then there's a YouTube chat, and I'm not sure that they are one thing. Nope, they're not one thing, so I guess I have to flip back and forth, huh? Can I do that without streaming? I don't want to stream to myself because that's going to be using up a lot of bandwidth. Whoa! No, I just sent a chat on YouTube, and I can't see it on PS4, but if I send a chat from PS4, oh, I can. Okay. So, I don't know. I guess you two are very quiet. Or you four now are very quiet, but welcome. Alright, so here we go. I am going to do my quick checks that I always do. Look at my cargo hold, it's good, it's full, I'm not running empty. I look at my fuel meter, it's good, and I am ready to launch.
Detachment complete. You are go for departure.
Not a very busy station, so I don't have to worry about dodging other traffic, but you always want to keep speed below 100 meters per second. If you don't, and you hit somebody, then it's on you. And then always boost directly at full energy to engines, waiting for the mass lock to go away so that I can get hyperspace. And oh, okay, so what happened there was that I plotted my course before I bought that cargo, so now I actually can't make it in 4 jumps anymore. So I have to just jump into the galaxy map, jump out of the galaxy map. Oh, it's now recalculated. Jump out of the galaxy map. It's now 5 jumps. Good. And now I'm ready to jump.
Frameshift drive charging.
And this is going to be a kind of boring bit, so if you want to ask me any questions on the chat, feel free. I've set a timer for about 45 minutes. I don't want to go past an hour on the stream because PS4 doesn't seem to like that. So I'll start a new stream at that point because I don't think we'll get through this entire loop in that time. Okay, so I'm scooping fuel. That's nice. The other thing I want to do is interesting. My discovery scanner is not working. Why is that? I put it on curious. Oh, interesting. I didn't look at my power. I don't have enough power to use my advanced discovery scanner. Isn't that sad? Well, if I take my weapons here and reduce their priority, I should be able to get under looks to me like I should be. I'm still at 109%. Why is that? That's odd, isn't it? What if I turned off my shields? Well, I know I'm under now, so I think it's just lying to me. Okay. So I am honestly a little confused about why my discovery scanner isn't working. I've been a PC player for a long time, and so some things on PS4 may be confusing to me, but I'm pretty sure I'm hitting the buttons that should be making the discovery scanner fire. That's odd. It's very odd. Maybe I need to check into my fire group. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, so now I've got 20 things to sell later on in terms of scans of different objects, so that's good. And now we take our next jump. that I've got that figured out, this should be a much simpler process. I'll come out of hyperspace, I will wheel around to the next point, which is behind the star, so I've got to go around the star here. And I will scan while I'm doing that and scoop a little fuel.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
And then jump. So now I've got 3 jumps left. Not a big deal. This ship is the Asp Explorer, which is a very nice multi-purpose ship. I would say that it's probably the best mid-game ship for most people. I think as soon as you can afford it, you should get it. And I don't know what visual artifacts we're getting here. Okay. 2 more jumps to go. I know I'm going to be able to make this entire route without scooping fuel, so for that reason I'm not worrying about the fuel scoop too much. And here we go. Final jump. $100 light years on less than half tank. Not bad. There was little danger that time because a ship like the Asp Explorer is fast enough that it doesn't pirates really can't jump you while you're just wheeling around a star for the next hop. But this is where the danger comes in. It's when I'm going to decelerate when my ETA gets to 7 seconds. 13, 12, 11, 10, and decelerate. I have a key set up here to go to 75%. You see, it's L1 on. I hold down triangle and I hit L1, and that's the way to get most efficiently into a station. So wait until your ETA is at 7 seconds and then throttle down to 75%. Now I want to try to address the station from its front. To do that, I am going to let it go over my zenith here, and once it does, I'll then pitch up. Maybe I did it a bit too early. I'll let it go over my zenith again, pitch up. There we go. And now I wait to get to 1 megameter, and I disengage. Nice. It's a beautiful sight. Boost towards the station as soon as you get out, and request docking. And then I reset my pips, and I get my throttle to the bottom of the blue zone, which is usually right for the speed limit. It gets me a little bit under 100 meters per second. I can speed up a little bit more than that. And as I come in on the green side always, I'm going to look for landing pad 5, which should be
You're
one
on
of the ones
track,
in the
Commander.
back.
The approach looks good.
Maybe not. Where is it? Oop. Nope, I was wrong. I was so ready for it to be in the back that I was not considering that it might be. Let me just be sure. Is that 5? That's 5. Well, it wouldn't be a live stream without
300 meters from
embarrassing landings.
Fly smart. Fly safe. Reduce your speed inside the dotted line.
There we go. Now I always hit enter hangar and starport services one after another, just so that I can get these two animations kind of happening at once. And first thing is I go into the market and sell off those crop harvesters that I picked up, because those aren't part of the goal. That's just to make some money along the way. And 388 credits per ton is not good, but it's something. I think generally when you're trading you want to get over 1,000 credits per ton, but that is not the primary purpose of this part of the trip. So now I go up to legal drugs, and I want to purchase all the Bast snake gin that I can, which is only 15 units, 15 tons, because it's a rare trade, and rare trades they very slowly replenish. So I mean, if I docked here and you know, logged out and went to sleep and came back in the morning, there would be 15 again. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to continue on the trip. So I'm now going to get on the galaxy map, and my next hop from Bast is going to be Orrere, and I've got that bookmarked. It's the Sharon Lee Free Market, and that's almost 160 light years away, so definitely not going to make that on a tank. And I'm need to, while I'm thinking about it, fill up the tank. So you can get farther if you're making a long, if you need to make a long jump, you get farther with less than a full tank of fuel. But I don't think that's really important to me right at this moment. So now I'm checking the commodity prices really quickly to see if in Orrere if the Sharon Lee Free Market needs anything that I can pick up here, and they have absolutely no use for anything. So that's too bad. We're going to deadhead with mostly empty cargo bay. I should see if they pay more for those articulation motors that are taking up 4 tons of my cargo. They probably won't, but a little bit more, but not really. So no reason not to continue to carry it. I mean, obviously, since I'm getting I'm going around buying liquor, I'm obviously going to hit agricultural stations, and they're not going to have much use for a high-tech component like that. So at some point, I'll just sell it when I need the cargo space. Okay, so I'm not going to make the same mistake this time. I'm going to check the galaxy map.
Always
Just
proceed
select
directly to
the
your
route
allotted bay to avoid
replot.
unnecessary delays and/or ship destruction.
Okay, and I can now see that this is going to take 6 jumps, and I don't think I could see the end of the route there, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it all on a tank of
This station
fuel or
operates
not. I
a zero
should.
tolerance policy.
But I just want to make sure. Which way am I going? Okay, that's where I'm starting. I'm heading to the Sharon Lee market, and that last leg there, you can see it's a solid line, which means that I'm going to make it there with the fuel I have. So again, I don't need to fuel skip along the way.
Unauthorized loitering may trigger a lethal
Nice.
response.
So, my last kind of pre-checks. Inventory looks fine. Fuel again, I've checked my navigation again, it looks fine. So, launch. Push up.
Detach confirmed.
Landing gear
Exit
extracted.
Pacification emplacements are active
Exit on the
and
green
tracked
side.
by this station.
Which is the red side if you're going the other way. As soon as I get through here, boost, full throttle and full powered engines, waiting for the little blue mass locked marker to go out. As soon as it does, I hit jump, and then I turn towards my target. There we go. And I think I've explained the reason that I do it that way is because that way I can get the most distance from the station and get to out of its gravity well as fast as possible. And then as soon as I'm out of its gravity well, I start spinning up the drive. It's just for the sake of efficiency. Oh, it occurs to me I could have tried to sell some of that cartographic data, but I'll be able to sell it next station. So, not a big deal. Now, when you've got a fuel scoop, the one thing you do have to be careful about in these jumps is it creates heat. And so I'm at 73%. I'd want to be careful about that. It's okay now, but if you're a really hot star, I'd want to be careful. Somebody send a chat. There's like 3 or 4 of you on now. I'm happy to answer any questions. I see one of you asked on the Plus post, or you said on the Plus post comments that you've always wanted to try the game, so if you've got any questions about it, please do ask. So I like the PS4 version. I should explain that on the PC I've got an HTC Vive, a VR headset that I tend to use. And the PS4 certainly doesn't give you anything like that level of immersiveness, which is a really great thing. But my husband is often using the PC for his own games, and so it's nice to have a different option. And sometimes, you know, you just want to kind of lounge on the couch and play a game. And I'm impressed. This is not a PS4 Pro. This is just a regular old PS4. For the number of different controls in the game, they've done a pretty good job of mapping it onto the gamepad. The graphics have seemed perfectly acceptable. Of course, nothing like on the PC, but yeah. more jumps. So you notice some of these are like Turiditani. That's a funny name. So inside a civilized space, there are name systems, and those are kind of like named by some algorithm. And then there are catalog numbered systems. Obviously, the name systems almost always have inhabitants. The catalog number ones sometimes do, sometimes don't. And the catalog numbers are real astronomical catalog numbers.
Frameshift drive charging.
And our final hop here. For the final hop, it's much the same. Checking my compass for where I want to be pointed. But instead of jumping, I'm instead just heading towards the marker. And again, I'm waiting for the ETA, which is the bottom number there, which is about to hit 2 minutes, to get down to 7 seconds. And when it gets to 7 seconds, I throttle down to 75%. That's the fastest way to get to a location in a system via supercruise, which is the faster than light travel inside of a solar system. And the diagram there on the left of the station shows me how I'm addressing it, and I want to change orientation before I get there so that I'm addressing it head on, so that I can enter the docking slot without having to maneuver around the station. And to do that, as I said before, that was the wrong way to go. I'm going to pull up. And wait until it gets over my zenith. So I like this about the PS4. You can look freely by just clicking in the right stick and moving the entire controller around, which is a nice way to do it. And I was not thinking about that, was I? I mentioned on the last stream that when I'm talking about it, sometimes I do the exact opposite of what I'm supposed to do. But it'll be okay. I'm just going to overshoot it a bit, and once it gets well overhead, then I will pull back around, and hopefully, there we go. Good. Adjusting it from the front again. I can disengage supercruise when I'm slow enough, which I already am. You can see in the speed. And when I'm close enough, under 1 megameter, which I will be in just a moment, and it'll say safe disengage ready. And then I just hit the button to exit faster than light, and boom. Boom? Maybe boom. Boom! There we go. Boost immediately. Because I want to get to the station as quickly as possible. I can make a docking request when I'm 7.5 kilometers away.
Okay, Commander. You are go for approach to pad 1.
And now I need to reduce my speed again to under 100 meters per second. And enter in the green side. I can see that I'm going to landing pad 15. So what I'm doing as I go through the slot is I'm trying to peek around, see if I can get an idea of where it is. Looks like it's probably going to be on the right and below me, but we'll see. I wait until I'm over the pad, and then I throttle way down, like this, and
200 meters from touchdown.
I thrust downwards, and then I just try to guide in. There we go. Not my best, but probably my best on a live stream, so
Docking confirmed.
I
Securing
won't
ship.
complain.
Station facilities are at your disposal, Commander.
Alright, so again, enter hangar and start for services. I'm going to look at the commodities market and buy the liquor that can be found here, which is in foods, interestingly enough. Caffeine. This drink is so high in caffeine and natural sugars that it is often classed as a narcotic. Interesting. Okay, well. So it was in legal medicine, or legal drugs in the other stations, but here it's under food, so. Okay, so, yep, Orrere and Vicious Brew. Oh look, since we even started, the community goal has now hit tier 6, which means the payouts have all increased quite a bit. They're based on how your contribution compares to the other players, and the total contribution by all players is determines what tier the rewards are at. When you hit tier 8, the goal is finished. So that's very, very fast. It was right at the tier 5 line when I checked just a few hours ago. So this, you see time left 5 days, 18 hours. These run for a week. So this goal is going to finish well before its usual time. Sometimes Frontier will create a second community goal or do a second run of the same community goal when that happens, just so that people who have, you know, schedules where they can't play on the weekend or whatever have a chance. But anyway, my inventory now, I've got 3 kinds of beverage and still these articulation motors, which I think I'll just unload at this point. I mean, I'm gonna be hitting all agricultural stations, and none of them are. Doesn't do any harm. I get a little tiny less range, but so what, right? Now, if I were doing a more normal trading mission, I would now go into the mission board and look for other things I could take up along the way. But no such thing here. So. I'm just going to plot a route to my next stop, which after Orrere is Lave. A lot of new players will be familiar with Lave because Lave is one of the stations that, or one of the systems that new players start in. You kind of, it's luck of the draw which one. It's also very close. It's only 9 light years away, so certainly won't need to get any more fuel. I am quickly going to check the trading website, eddb.io, which I highly recommend, just to see if there's anything that I can fill the rest of my hold with on my way to Lave Station. I'm guessing no. Oh, well look. Huh. They need hydrogen fuel. They don't pay... they don't pay well for it. So let me see, I'll just show you one thing. In the galaxy map, yes, so I can buy trade data for 100 credits, which is nothing. Now, having done that, I can now go into the commodities market. And in this upper right where it says galactic average, I can instead check out the prices in Lave. Or not the prices, but whether they'll take it. And EDDB suggested hydrogen fuel. And it says exported to. So I will buy some hydrogen fuel. It's cheap. And just fill up my hold.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the surface. I could just hit launch and then I'd just be brought to the surface and immediately released, but I like to make my last kind of checks while this animation is going on. So look at my inventory, that looks good. I want to look at my route, that looks good, although I do again need to enter the galaxy map just to let it replot. Oh, well, no, I don't, because it's a single jump, but if it were multi-jumps, I would need to go into the galaxy map to let it replot. And then one thing that just occurred to me that I didn't do was restock. I don't need to restock. That's for ammo, and also now that I have a field repair module, you get basically nano machines to refill that, but I don't need to. So with that, launch, thruster straight up,
Regulate speed to outside
landing gear, throttle up, change my flight controls. So on the PS4, because you don't have as many different controls as keyboard and mouse or a HOTAS setup, there are two different types of flight controls that you get to by pressing the left stick. You see I click at alternate flight controls, standard flight controls. Standard or rightwards push makes you yaw, but alternate flight controls make rightward make thrusters fire. So not at all useful when you're in faster than light, because thrusters don't do anything faster than light, but very important when you're trying to land. So it's a good system, I think. Okay, so Lave Station is a classic Coriolis station. One of these, what is that, an icosahedron? And so again, I'm just going to, these are harder to figure out how to address them so that you are pointing towards their docking slot. It's not a matter of what you need to do being any different, but it's just hard to see in the diagram where the slot is, because it's a very symmetrical object. So I'm just kind of lazily heading towards it and looking at that diagram. Oh, is that the slot? It looks like that's the slot. Nope. That is an arrow to the slot, which is... No, that is the slot. Gosh, it's hard to see. But that's good. So now got the slot. The ETA there is increasing because I'm in the gravity well of that beautiful Earth-like planet. Now that I'm out of the gravity well, I'm speeding. Well, I'm slowing down less slowly. I'm now within the speed limit to be able to drop safely, but I have to get within 1 megameter, and I am. So, drop. Very nice.
Tango Romeo Echo, this is an Alliance station. Please comply with STARCOM regulations at all times. Access granted. Head directly to docking bay 38.
Green side is on the right, from my point of view. I think I mentioned earlier that I prefer to head into a slot with the slot below me. It just feels more natural for me. I'll sometimes do a 180 roll just to make that, but it's just a matter of preference.
Continue on current course, Commander. Landing area clear.
Looking for landing pad 38, which is the very back on the right there. So you can't slide into a landing dock. A lot of new players will try to do that. If you do, you'll hit these pylons and lights and things. So you have to come in up and then thrust. Use your thrusters to come down, and you have to be pointing. Whoops. I was not using the alternate flight controls. There we go. One dangerous thing with the PS4 is that because the less frequently used commands are these kind of chords, you hold down one button while you press another. The same buttons are used for just they're used for common things by themselves. And so on PlayStation, the circle button boosts. Holding down the circle button and pressing the down on the D-pad puts down the landing gear. And you really do not want to boost inside of a station. That is a quick way to explode if you don't have shields. It's just something you have to be careful about. But it's a very classic new player mistake. So they did one hydrogen fruit. That's nice. Hydrogen fuel. Lowly 72 credits of profit per ton, but what you gonna do? And they are selling Lave and brandy. I can buy 6 units. I'm surprised, given that this is both a new station, a new user station, and a community goal related station, that I'm not seeing other players at this point. Oh, there's one person. Oh no, that's a friend. But I need to check the time on this stream, because from my experience, PS4 gets you can lose the stream once you get to an hour, and we're right now at 55 minutes. So let's just finish the things that I need to do in this station, and then I'll stop the stream and start a new one. So I do want to check the next hop, which is going to be the longest, I think. It's to Wuthielo Ku, who the station is, can I remember, Tartar Dock, I think? Yes. And that's 250 light years away. So That's going to be definitely, I think even once I fill up the tank, like that. If I go back into the galaxy map, I think we'll still see that I can't make the entire trip on a single tank of fuel. Right. So you see it's a dotted line. If I move up, I'll see that I will run out of fuel after my jump to Heron Ghoul. Isn't that a place in Game of Thrones? No, that's Heron Hall. So what that means is that if I didn't have the fuel scoop at some point between here and Heron Ghoul, I would need to stop at a station, buy some fuel. Since I do have the fuel scoop though, I'm just going to have to remember to scoop some stars along the way. Now, there are, so you can only scoop main sequence stars. And let's see where we get that. You can actually filter out stars by sequence. And I don't remember where it is. Star class. There we go. And so if you remember the old mnemonic, O, be a fine guy or girl, kiss me. These are the main sequence stars that you can scoop from. Any other type of star, you can't. And so you can limit your hops just to scoopable stars, but since I see from the map that most of my stops are along scoopable stars anyway, I don't need to replot that way. It's okay if I miss a few along the way. We've now hit an hour, so I may have just lost you, but if I lose you, I will restart the stream in just a couple minutes. But for now, I am going to stop this stream, and I will start a new one in maybe 3 minutes after I've had a chance to reset.